Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're joining me for another road rant. So I'm really happy to still be making them. Oh my god. The sad part is I'm starting to run out of ideas of what to talk about. I'm not even gonna lie. And you would think, there's so much to talk about in this world. But I'm running out of things. Like, help me out, people. I don't know what to talk about anymore. Oh my god. Do not see, I'm driving here. But yes, as you can see, I shaved my head again, and that was one of the stupidest things I could have ever done. That was such an idiotic choice. It was beautiful the way it was, and like everyone keeps telling me that, and I feel like super bad. Hey, cop. I feel really bad that I shaved it. I shaved it with a nose hair trimmer. I'm not even gonna lie to you people. And don't do it. Just let the hairdresser do her thing and keep it the length it is, because that was, I look like Skrillex. I look like Skrillex now. So now I have to deal with Skrillex's head for what, like 2 weeks? My hair grows really fast, so I'm not extremely concerned, but it's still super annoying. It looks silly. I look like a man on that side, and now there's a woman on the side. It's very confusing for everybody. So because I'm running out of things to talk about, which is so crazy, like, I wanted to talk about life in retail, because I'm sure 80% of us have all had a job that's entitled customer service, or some kind of dealing with people, dealing with products, stuff like that. It's crazy because my first retail job, I was actually a third key manager. And I'm not going to talk about where this place is or what this place is, because I just don't feel like that's appropriate. My first retail job, actually that's a lie. My first retail job was a candle shop. I'll take you to the candle shop. I'm just gonna edit that out. I just don't need that. So actually my first job was at a candle shop, and it was literally the worst freaking job I've ever had in my life. It was my first retail job. I worked at like restaurants and stuff mostly, and then my first retail job was working in this candle shop, and I love candles. I'm a candle freak. I sniff everything. I love smells. I love smells. Oh my god. Eyelash. Stop eyelash. Oh my Lanza. Oh my Lanza. Oh, green light, green light. So my first job was at a candle store, and there's lots of candle stores out there, so it was candles and other things, let's say. It was candles and other things. So there's a lot of candles and other things stores around these parts. But the one that I worked in was the worst job that I've ever had in my life, and probably ever will have in my life, quite honestly. It was a train wreck. It was a train wreck. I don't understand, like, how they're still in business. Honestly, I don't. And like the company itself, it tries to be something that it really, really isn't. It tries to exude, oh, we're so prim and proper and we're so classy and stuff, but no, they're just a whole bunch of children running this company. I'm so sorry. It's just children. It is children. Literally, my manager, okay, the first manager I had when I first got hired, I only worked there for 2 months. And they went through a manager. Girl, please. My first manager was like an older lady, and she was really sweet and really kind, but she had enough. She had enough. And you know what? I completely understand why she had enough, because the place was just, like I said, a train wreck. Oh my gosh, it was just intense. So she left. She just walked out one day, like when I was working. She just left. She was like, I'm done. You know what? I'm done with all of this. Hannah, you don't even know the tip of the iceberg with this place. And I'm like, I like candles. candles smell really good. So you know what? I was getting holiday hours. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick to it. And you know what the crazy part was? I was so determined to be one of the keepers, because you know when they have like most places when they hire extra holiday work, and after the holidays are done, they cut a whole bunch of the holiday work people. But she said the person who I talked to, who is a bigwig in the company, she was like, well, I want to keep some of you that we feel works with our little family. Oh, good Lord. So, of course, I am a competitive person, and I always want to be the best of the best. I'm a freak. Don't worry. Don't worry. I am a complete freak. I want to be the best of the best. I want to be chosen. I want to be number one. That is just my life all the time. It's an issue. But so I worked really hard. I didn't say anything about anything. I was quiet. And there were these two girls. One of them wasn't so bad, quite honestly. But the other one was literally, I'm going to beep it out. She was a total bitch I've ever met in my life. And guess who became manager after the nice old lady left? The sorry. She was 18 years old. I think I was like 20. Which, you know, I'm not judging. A manager younger than me, it's going to happen throughout my life. And that's not a big deal in my eyes. I hadn't been with the company long. This girl was friends with the higher up, so she got to be a lawyer. She got to be a manager. She was literally like insane, like psychologically. She had so many issues. And I don't know if it might have just been like the manager status that brought that out in her, but she was crazy. Oh my gosh, she started cursing at me in the middle of the freaking store because someone broke a candle, and I went to go get, I don't remember, but she started cursing at me in front of customers because someone broke a candle, and I went to go sweep it up. And like, oh my gosh, she was insane. She was throwing candles. Like, oh my gosh, it was literally such a, it was a shit show. And like, what was weird was like the higher ups, the woman who was in charge with of the shop I was working in, her husband, they would like interrogate us on why we aren't making our sales goals. They would literally harass us. Not this fun little, hey you guys, so I saw you didn't make your goals, so let's talk about what's going on. No, it was harassing. One time she had her husband sit in the shop and stare at me with his little like tank top wife beater. We call them wife beaters. I know it's so inappropriate, but it's like the tank tops like with the and messed up jeans and like his hillbilly looking self staring at me, trying to sell freaking candles in this frou-frou shop. Like, it was insane. I've never been so verbally abused. And like, the better you did your job, like there was this one girl, I like follow her on Instagram and Facebook still, and she was the grade A, like perfect employee. Like, the managers didn't want to do anything. So guess what? Me and her were doing absolutely everything. And the managers would make us sign in as them so they could get like the amount of candles that we were selling or the amount of stuff we were selling. Because we would have like a contest and we'd have rankings. And we were always top of the rankings. They would make us sign in as them so they could get more credit for the stuff that we would sell. Oh, and you want to know something great? The woman who was like the bigwig I was talking about, whose husband would literally harass us. He would fuss us. Like, I've never been fussed like that in my life by anybody. She made me go to Dillard's with the lotion that she had bought and tell them that my mom didn't like it. I'm not even freaking kidding. She was like, hey, can you do me a favor? And I was like, oh, yes, ma'am. She was like, take this to Dillard's. Tell them I don't want it anymore. I want a refund. And I was like, well, do you have a box or anything? She goes, no, I don't have a box, and I don't have a receipt, but it didn't work, and I want a refund. And I looked into she freaking used half of it. She was like, well, if you want to keep your job here, I'm going to have to see that you're determined to step up in situations. So, I'm so stupid. I was so stupid. I should have just gave it back and was like, no, it's not, I'm not playing that game. But no, I was like, okay, challenge accepted, because I'm a freak. So I went and like I pretended to be this woman's daughter, and she was all mad. I was like, I got her this for a present. She didn't like it. We don't have anything. They're like, there's nothing you can do. And then when I came back and I was like, they said there's nothing you can do. She said, oh, well, apparently you didn't try hard enough, but I'll let you stay anyway. Yeah, this was literally the second day I was working. The woman didn't even remember my name, quite honestly. That was literally the worst job I've ever had. I have never been so abused in my life in 3 months or 2 months that I worked there. And like one day it got to the point where I literally just wrote a note. I was like, I have to leave for personal differences. See you later. Well, I didn't put that. I just put, I need to leave this company for personal, because of personal differences. Bye-bye. And, I never went back. And I got a job in another place, and they kind of stole me from that place. So a company across the street saw me and was like, we really like her. So they kind of actually came over and they let me know that there was a job open. So I applied for that one where I would get paid more and I was respected. And it was actually a third key manager position. That's what I was talking about. And I really enjoyed that job. It was in something that I really liked. It was jewelry. I love jewelry. I buy lots of jewelry. So this was like my cup of tea. And we got 50% discount, so hello. But honestly, when I started working there, it's also a place where you pierce ears. I loved piercing ears. Okay, there's two things I really loved about this job. Number one, piercing ears. I like inflicting pain upon people and then them being happy about it. I don't know, that's really creepy, Hannah. Thanks, Hannah. Number two, there were a lot of shoplifters and stuff, and I got to play like MacGuff the crime dog and just like point them out and then like report them to the police, and then they all the security people would come to like my station and everyone would see that like I ratted someone out. And I don't know, it was just such a rush. It was a rush. It was like a high. I loved it. So when I first started, it was kind of like, oh, if you see someone stealing, try to hand them like a basket, which is, you know, that's what a lot of companies do. Try to hand them a basket and try to get them to put their stuff in the basket. So they get kind of spooked, which does work. I will say it does really work most times. But no, they got to the point where they were like, no, we're going to be pressing charges on whoever shoplifts from this place. So they wanted me to catch them and keep them and detain them. So the first time I detained someone was these two girls in very, very short booty shorts. I remember this so vividly. I was so nervous. I obviously saw them put something in their shorts, the front of their shorts, and I was not gonna let them leave my store. So I was like sweating. I was shaking. I was literally shaking like a leaf. And I just went up to them and I said, excuse me, ladies, can I have my earrings back? And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, sweetheart, you put at least a 12-pack of earrings in the front of your pants. Now come with me. We're going to take a little seat and I'm going to call security. And I'm like, so, I was a little too excited. So I took the girl to the front and I, I took the girl to the front and she pulled the earrings out of the front of her pants. And she was like gonna put them in my hand. I was like, no, you put them on the counter right now. I can't resell that. It's been in your vagina. And she was like horrified. And I said, sit in the ear piercing chair and don't move. I'm calling security. And oh my God, all these, the two little girls are like crying. Oh my God. It's sad how I got joy out of that. Very twisted individual. But like, I know people who are like, you're too nice to be a teacher, because I was going for teaching in college, and I'm like, no, I have my teaching mode. I have teacher mode, I promise, and it's very effective. So I called the security, and they got him, and I left a note for like my head manager. I put vagina earrings, do not touch, on them, and like the next day she called me, she's like, Hannah, really? We were all close, so it wasn't like they understood my humor. They understood it. So yeah, I had to deal with the girl pulling earrings out of her vagina. So that was one. And then another shoplifting person, I caught her shoplifting. She was like an older lady, and I was like, ma'am, I'm sorry, you can't put that in your purse. Can you please give it back? I'm going to be calling security. And she comes up and she gives me this face, like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, ma'am, please go sit in the chair. She's like, oh, thank you so much. And then she starts crying. And then she hugs me. And she's like, thank you, Jesus. And I'm like, and then she runs away. I was so freaking confused. Like, how confusing is that? A woman just like thanks you for catching her shoplifting and then runs away. I did get my item back though. She didn't leave with it, so thankfully she like gave it back. I don't know. Maybe I made her repent. I don't even know. And then there was one time where it was super duper busy, and I caught this girl stealing, and I had her sitting in the chair, and I had like, oh, there were so many people, because of course when they see like a bunch of like security guards, everyone wants to come look and see what's going on. And it was just so busy. And then we had people wanting ear piercings, and oh my gosh, it was just a mess. The store was full, like claustrophobic, and then there was a girl crying on the ear piercing chair because she got caught stealing. And then these people kept trying to return this stuff, and I'm like, look, you can't return this. And they're like, oh my God, well, you're stupid. So they stole it. They stole some stuff after, and I'm like, oh my freaking Lord. After all the hullabaloo ended and everyone left, I saw a whole bunch of paper on the floor, and I was like, where did this paper come from? Like, we don't really have anything around here for paper. Like, what is this? So, you know, me and my friend, me and the other worker were cleaning up, and we realized that one of our really expensive purses got stolen. But, I mean, to be fair, the purse is literally in the front of the store. You could grab it and just run. Like, you could grab it and run. Like, it is not even, you don't even have to think twice. You don't even have to think real hard. You just take that purse and run. And like, oh my gosh, did I really let her do that? But like I said, me and the other worker, she was piercing ears. I was checking people out. I was also telling the security guards my statement. It was just, retail. Freaking retail. And you know what? There are some people who, there's some customers who have like made my life so much better and have made my day so much brighter. And they are just beaming rays of love and hope. And then, of course, we all know those customers who aren't. And they just, you have to understand this. I understand some service workers, you know, they're not the best. And, you know, that's completely not okay. I mean, you should, as a customer, you should be treated with respect. But as a customer, you should also treat the worker who is helping you with respect. Because, by the way, if you're telling someone off, later that night when they're telling the story to their friends, the employee, they're going to be using this voice. She walked in and she was like, hey, I need this, this, and this. Like, just saying, if you're one of those customers who gives us we are going to be mocking you probably for the next like 3 years. It all matters how bad you were that day. So just a heads up, you will be mocked and made fun of, and you can do really nothing about it. So good luck with that. And just to let you know, I don't talk negatively about my employees. I mean, my employees. Well, those either. I don't. Gotta breathe. It's hot outside. I don't normally talk negatively about my employers. Honestly, I mean, you know, you've had little things at every job that you didn't like. But as for that place I was talking about, the candle shop, it was so extreme that I have to talk about it. And every person who's ever like, oh, one thing about working there, I'm like, sweetheart, almost every single person in Homa has worked there, and it never ended well. And like every time I see like a new person working there, I'm like, sweetheart. But all the other places I've worked, like I said, there's been ups and downs everywhere I've worked. But that place was a special breed. Quite honestly, it was a very special breed. And it really needed to be fixed. Like, they need a professional to go in there and fix things. It's that bad. And that's my opinion. That's like my analysis. And it was my first retail job. And for a while, I thought maybe, well, what if all retail jobs are like this and I just have to get used to it? But no, sweetheart. Retail jobs suck. But they're not supposed to suck that bad, okay? If you're ever in a job where you're being emotionally, mentally, or even physically, if you're getting abused at a job, don't stay there. It is not worth it. I know way too many people who stay at jobs that they hate, and life is too short. I need to put on more lipstick. I keep eating it off. Gosh, Hannah. What can I say? I'm hungry. I am really hungry, but I'm too poor. I'm too poor to buy food. That's really sad. Yeah, I'm too poor to buy food, so I'm just gonna be. What did I just? Oh my God! Did I hit a person? This truck next to me sounds like a freaking jet plane or something. Freaking ridiculous. But yeah, I do not condone. I know there's a lot of different like videos on YouTube talking about like what working at this so-and-so place is like, this so-and-so place is like, but I don't feel like I need to fight with this particular company because they're just, it's like you can only shine poop for so long to realize that it is still poop. Like, that's what I would equate those people to. The people who run the place. They're gonna try to dress up nice. They were unkind to me. They were rude. Their whole life was just like really bizarre. I'm telling you, it was so bizarre. But I'm just saying, you can't shine poop, and they will never be as classy as they want to be, or they think they are because they have all this money. They're just still trash. I'm sorry. There's some people in this world who you think are trying to do good, but they're greedy. So greedy. They're just greedy, and they care about no one but themselves and their money. And I love all people, and I would never call just anybody trash, but it's like when you can see into someone's personality, and you're like, oh, but Hannah, you're just judging a book by its cover. It's like, no. I know these people. I know what they've done to me, and what they've done to several other people, and it was not okay. You can't shine poop. You're still going to be poop, no matter how many candles you freaking make. But like I said, I've had bad experiences with other companies, but I would never talk bad about them because I don't feel like the whole company is to blame. This one, I think the whole company is to blame for various reasons. So, I won't say their name, but I'm sure most of you know who I'm talking about and what I'm talking about. Who are like locals. It's just such a mess. So, my camera on my phone is just not cooperating. It is saying I'm low on memory. So, sadly, I'm going to have to drop this off here. Sorry, kids. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave me some comments. Leave me some comments. Please leave me some comments. Leave me some feedback. Leave me some likes, or dislikes, since you guys like doing that. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.